Hey everybody, this is Level Up Luke for the Queen City Soccer Show. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the state of the Charlotte Independents. They have had an amazing season so far. They're currently sitting second on the table in USL League One. They had a 14-game unbeaten streak that recently came to a close. That was historic for the club, the longest unbeaten run in the 11-year club history. They have a huge matchup against third on the table, tied in points, one Knoxville, and this could very well see either of these teams catapulting up to first place in USL League One. That game is going to be Saturday, August 1st at home, American Legion Memorial Stadium, 7 p.m. That is going to be a slight overlap with the 8:30 p.m. kickoff of Charlotte FC on the road from Chicago. So my move and my recommendation for you guys would be check out the Independence game at 7 p.m. and then once that one wraps up, you can catch most of the Charlotte FC game from a watch party afterwards. Crown Legacy also in action, 8 p.m. in Huntsville, Alabama. So that is all three of our men's soccer teams in Charlotte playing with overlap there on Saturday night, August 1st. So did just want to tell you guys about the most recent game for the Independents. They were hosting the Richmond Kickers, who have not been the best club in the league this year. They're currently sitting in second to last place with a pretty bad run of form. So Independence was a huge favorite in this one. They have a plus 13 goal differential after the 3-1 win over Richmond. This was a good one. I mean, honestly, it could have ended up 5 or 6-1. Richmond did get one back towards the end in the 75th minute. But Independence really impressed me here because they were without Luis Alvarez, who is coming back from injury, working on his rehab. They're without Enzo Martinez, who has a torn LCL and some additional lower body injuries. I spoke to Enzo. He is very optimistic. He is going to try to get back to training this week. He's itching to come back, but obviously with a lower body injury, they got to be careful with that rehab. Enzo, just an absolute gem of a human being, and he wants nothing more than to help Independence get that offense back on track. It was a great game last night for me as I record this. On Saturday night, Charlotte FC was in action against the Red Bulls, but it was Clay Dimmick bobblehead night at American Legion Memorial Stadium. I talked to some of the players and the coach after the game, Mike Jeffries, so I'm going to try to include the audio here. Apologies for the quality. They have us right underneath the speakers on the field as we're doing these interviews, so there's a little bit of background noise to contend with, but I'm going to try to clean it up as best I can. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope to see you out at American Legion Memorial Stadium as the Independents look like on the field the best team that I have seen wearing the Independents crest. I mean, the product on the field is tremendous. They're putting out a ton of goals. They look like a team that can win a championship. Just every level. Goalkeeper, defense, midfield, attack, especially the attack. And once they get healthy and they get these players back, I mean, if they can win without them, they're just going to be even more dominant when they come back. So the team's really coming together. Cool little media note here. We did have Jalen Orr get his home debut. He got a few minutes against Spokane in the last road match, but this was his first home appearance. He's an Independence 2 young player on the reserve side that plays in USL 2, the semi-pro league. He got called up on a short-term contract. It's a 25-day contract to the first team. And, I asked Mike Jeffries about that, what it was like having a hometown kid get his debut.
We'll just start by thoughts on the night, putting back in the win column.
We came into the game, obviously, with the travel and the game in Spokane, a little tired, and I thought it took a little time for us to kind of find our legs for the game. I did think we created once we got kind of 15-20 minutes in, we started to create some chances and had better of the play. We were good at creating counterattacking chances. We just didn't take them as well as we needed to the first half. It was good to get the goal off of our pressure, first goal. I thought it was good. I thought we did a good job pressing all night. And then the second goal was huge for us coming in at halftime to get the play off of a good building across. Could have made the game a lot easier at the end, quite honestly. Baru's goal is nice off the set piece. And then I don't think we managed the game the way we needed to at the end. But given where we are physically and the effort we put in, and it's the same guys that have played essentially 3 games in a week and traveled cross country, it was a hell of an effort.
Steve.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to have to get off your audio because when I'm on the Zoom, it's not.
I'll send it over. What you got?
Mike, so this is a game, Richmond Kickers, that you guys were expected to win coming in. Can you talk about, what is it like playing against a team that you're expected to win against, and how do you have to prepare mentally to take possession of the game and come away with a win?
I think we felt, excited about the game in that we came off sort of a bad taste from Spokane with the loss there, and so having it, as difficult as it was physically, mentally, it was great to have a game right away. And guys were ready. I mean, guys in terms of, taking care of themselves and then, being up for the game, were ready. And look, I think we go into every game in this league, and, from your standpoint, you look at it and say, oh, this is a game you should win. From our standpoint, we know that, look, the league's pretty balanced. Anybody can, catch up anybody on a given day. And there's you can't have a letdown or think that it's going to be an easy day. Because that gets you in trouble. And I thought our mentality was really good today.
The 14-game streak, historic. Every good thing has to come to an end. What are you telling the players about mentality coming into this to get back on the right foot?
So, it was obviously a great run for us, both 8-game wins and 14 unbeaten. And sometimes you get in those runs and things are going right. We're making the plays, etc. And maybe we started to let little things go and still find, we're still getting results. So you kind of, just that we need to get back to the work rate, the energy, and the pace that we played at. And I thought we maybe gotten away from that a little bit. And I do think, it's been hard physically because we haven't had a chance to really rotate guys and so forth. And so for us, just kind of getting back and getting through some of the injuries and stuff is going to be huge.
You've been a little bit of a mash unit, but you're getting some guys back now and such. And do you feel, this was a great rebound game from the last 2.
It was an important rebound game for sure. As you said, look, I think probably on the outside everyone thinks, all right, we should get this result. But it was important for us to do it. And I think when you come off of 2 losses, there's always a little bit of a, question in terms of, whatever, the confidence you worry about it. But I thought the group didn't. And I thought they kind of showed up and said, we're going to take charge of this game. We're going to boss the game. We're at home. And we're going to get it done. So I think that's a big part of it. It was good to get Jaime and Luis into significant minutes. I think that's a big plus to get those guys back involved in our group.
Can you talk about Luis's status?
Yeah, Luis is good now. Look, he's the hamstring. He getting through 45. The goal was to get him through 45 today. And feel like he's ready. I think it was important for him to kind of get a full run and a full game in. Just to kind of get back into the rhythm. It's not easy when you've been out a month to just jump in and play. And so I think it's good for him to get the run and get the rhythm a little bit.
Well, it's also tough for this team. When Luis is in there, it's a different kind of game for you guys because of what he's capable of and what he's been so good at doing this year and creating both for himself and for others. How much did you have him a lot in training as far as, they know what he can do, but still, going a month without him, getting used to him being back on there takes some time.
Yeah, no, he was in training for the last week and a half and kind of building up slowly though. So, but you can't really, we train and so forth. You can't really replicate it 1 and 2. With the way our schedule's been, it's been relatively light training wise. So again, you don't replicate it. And when you get in the game, the game's faster, harder. You're under pressure more and have to make quicker decisions. So, and I think you saw a little bit of the rust and a little bit of the quality come out as well.
Yeah, you may not pay as much attention to the standings, but players tend to.
Everyone pays attention to the standings.
but in USL, they're never really the same for everyone at the same time because you have 2 games in hand, which is good having them in hand than not and still being that high at this point, getting up there. But I mean, you're a little more realistic about where things are than players are. I mean, because they look at it and they, you know, they process it a little differently with something. Do you feel like what I'm saying is correct, or do you see it differently?
I think, look, you take the games as they come. All right, you want to try to, especially at home, get 3 points every time you step on the field. Clearly, everybody's looking at the same, the teams up ahead of them to make sure that you're, have a way of catching, and then they're looking at the teams behind to make sure you're stretching it out. But we don't go in and worry like, oh my God, we have to win this game to catch up to Knoxville or Omaha or anything like that. You play the game and so forth. So and look, the important thing for us, I think the guys do know we've had this is the stretch of games for us where we have a big home kind of push, right? We had 6 or 7 at home, I think. And these are important
because you've
games
had the
for us to get
opposite
points.
as well.
Yeah, we've been away. Yeah, that's what I mean. But this is our stretch. We look at the teams ahead of us. They played a little more at home, so this is an important stretch for us. And now we've got very tough games coming up. And want to manage.
I mean, you created the offense looked as better than it has in a while, just with the creation of stuff and real scoring opportunities with that. And yeah, I mean, gave up a few things, but pretty much had it under control with that too.
It was certainly a better game going forward for us than Spokane. Spokane was a pretty level game, I thought, until the penalty. But we didn't create a ton of great chances. We created some okay half chances. I thought tonight past kind of the first 15, 16, 17 minutes, I thought we started to move the ball pretty well and were able to break down their back line and create a few chances for sure.
So, Coach, last question from me. So you talked about reinforcements earlier. We had Jalen Orr making a debut for the club. Can you tell us a little bit about Jalen? Looks like he's a hometown boy from Gastonia. What have you seen so far from him in training, and what did it mean to you to get him on the pitch tonight?
It was great to get him on. He actually played a little bit in Spokane as well. So it's great. Look, he's been in training with us for the better part of 2 or 3 months. He's played obviously mostly with USL 2. So it was an easy transition to bring him in, and he knows the group. One of the great things with him is he's got a good soccer player, got a good soccer brain, very versatile. We can use him in a couple of different spots, which is huge for us. With kind of the injuries and so forth, to have a guy that's versatile makes a good plus. He's a good, in terms of his athleticism, he's very good, and look, he's a capable League One guy, and it's nice to be able to again bring a guy that's a Charlotte guy and academy guy, and been with the club into the mix. I think that's huge for us. When
you have Luis on the field, what does that force the opposition to do?
Luis obviously drags a lot of attention to it, and they have to manage both his ability 1v1 and also his ability to make passes and see things that are very dangerous and creative type plays. So, clearly it opens up potential spaces for other players. I also think Luis is very good at playing balls in behind the back line, as you saw tonight, and that allows us to be able to stretch teams a little more than we might be able to. So, look, clearly Luis has been a top guy in the league all season, and when you go into a game, you game plan to manage the other team's top players. So, clearly
But you also have, with Ortiz and Jaime too, some very they can create magic moments.
Yeah, we have several players. Prince for sure, yeah. John Baquero.
He's coming.
Maru's had many moments. So, look, we feel like we have guys that can make plays for sure, and I think that's a plus. And I think we've shown over the course of the first half, because we're just one game ahead of halfway through. First half of the season, different guys have stepped up on different days and made the plays that have gotten us results.
You're scoring a lot of goals. Do you feel this is like one of the more dangerous teams you've had offensively?
Probably yes. Yeah, probably yes. Overall, yeah. Certainly. The 21, whatever it was, when we had Gabby and Marveau and Enzo and that group, it was maybe super high level, but this has been a good group for that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yep.
Here with John Baquero. John, tell me about the game tonight. Richmond Kickers, 3-1 win for Charlotte.
Just a huge win for us. We come from 2 losses in a row, and especially the loss at home last week. We knew we had to come out here and put a good performance, and just very happy that we got the 3 points and we got back into back to work.
Yeah, so you guys had a 14-game unbeaten run, historic for the franchise. Obviously, a few bumps along the way, but you guys are back on top with a win here tonight, chasing the top of the table. What do you need as a mentality for this team moving forward?
I think mentality-wise, we're to go together. You know, I mean, obviously we've had a couple injuries, and to get those guys back is huge for us moving forward. And you know, we're just really excited for this next part of the season, and hopefully we can win a championship to Charlotte.
Does it make it easier for you when you have a player like Luis who's coming back on the field to connect with?
Of course, we all know what Luis can do, and we're excited to have him back on the field, and hopefully he can help us win some games this year.
Absolutely. In this game, we saw a young player, Jalen, get his first start. How much does the connectivity of being able to draw up a young player like that, does that change the dynamics, or do you guys just work with whoever's on the pitch?
Jalen's been training with us for a long time. He's a great kid. He works really hard, so I'm so happy that he got this opportunity, you know, and just hoping that he can stay with us and start with his career, you know.
Yeah, you guys had a few shots off the crossbar. Is that frustrating?
It's just part of the game, you know. Sometimes that's why the post is there, you know. We gotta get a little more accurate, so we'll just keep shooting.
All right, John, we're gonna see you soon, man. Appreciate it. I'm here with Matt Levy. Matt, tell me about this game tonight. You guys look pretty dominant. Are you feeling like you're back?
Yeah, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for the game and the opportunity that I get to play in front of friends and family and fans. And I think that this is something that we really needed as a group, especially after we had a great run, and then I feel like we got away from some things and so it cost us 2 games. But to come back and win at our home, unluckily we weren't able to keep a clean sheet, but that's our next step and long season ahead. So just happy to get this win and keep the ball rolling again.
Big win, Clay Dimmick bobblehead night. Do you think that was the luck factor you guys needed? Was that the spur?
I mean, look, we have a Clay Dimmick bobblehead on the field every game. So, no, I mean, it's nice to have the fans come out and give back to them with these gifts and stuff. So, I'm super happy that we were able to get this one.
That's great, man. You guys are going to be back in action, and USL League One, you are contending for the top spot here, getting closer with this goal differential, ratcheting up. What is the team focusing on at this moment?
I mean, I think you just want to get back into the winning ways and the mentality that we had on that run that we had, where we had 14 unbeaten and 8-game win streak. And I think it's just a hard work, running, doing the dirty work, doing the dirty running, and I think that's just what we needed to get back to, and that's the mentality that we had. And in this group, we have the quality and we have the work ethic to be able to do that for the rest of the season and into the playoffs. So, just keeping our mindset on what we had a few weeks ago. And
last question here, it's Richmond Kickers tonight. You guys come away with a 3-1 win. You were favored to win going into this. What does it take as a goalkeeper for your mentality to stay locked in a game where you guys are the favorites coming in?
Yeah, so thank you. The thing is, with that, it's like you never know how many actions you're going to get in a game. So to keep yourself locked in for the entire game is very difficult, especially when you don't know how many times you're going to get a shot, because you guys are favored to win and you know that you're going to dominate the game. So I think just focusing and talking to the guys is a very good way to just help me keep my focus throughout the game. And that's it.
Matt Levy, appreciate your time.
So there we go, guys. If you stuck with us, thank you so much for that. Appreciate you guys listening to the episodes. You can find us on social media at QCS Pod. This is the Queen City Soccer Show. I'm Level Up Luke, and we will be back with another episode, probably Cole and Justin, talking about the Charlotte FC game. Yeah, as always, y'all, it is for the crown and up the Jacks.